The peace treaty that ended Sudan's civil war could now be unravelling. Tensions have been high between the north and the south ever since that agreement was signed in 2005. In May, there was fierce fighting between northern and southern troops in the disputed oil-rich border town of Abyei. The BBC's Mike Thompson has been to that area, as well as the capital Khartoum and Juba in the far south. As he found out, there are growing concerns that Africa's longest-running war could be about to erupt again.
Remembering the dead of a conflict that many fear could come again. Martyrs' Day in Juba. Tens of thousands of southern Sudan's largely Christian population commemorate the many killed in the 21-year civil war with the mainly Muslim north. Around 2 million people died in what was Africa's longest war. It ended in January 2005 with the signing of what's known as the Comprehensive Peace Agreement. Tensions have remained high ever since then, despite the formation of a government of national unity. Earlier this summer, simmering resentment erupted into violence over control of the border town of Abyei, which sits on oil-rich land claimed by both north and south. More than 80 people died and 50,000 were displaced. Some see this as a taste of even worse to come.
I think conflict is unavoidable because the situation is such that the government in Khartoum is interested in the resources of Abyei.
It's not difficult to see why these resources are so hotly contested. Despite the huge potential wealth here, much of southern Sudan's population lives in extreme poverty. Maternal and child mortality rates are the highest in the world. Under the peace agreement, the people of the south, as well as those in Abyei, will be able to decide whether they want independence from the north in referendums to be held in 2011. A yes vote, which is widely expected, could slash the north's income from oil by as much as 80%. But many doubt that Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir, who insists that a united Sudan is in the best interests of all, will ever let this happen, even though he's repeatedly said he's against a return to war. But if fighting does come, it could start on Khartoum's very doorstep. During the 20-year war, the streets of Khartoum escaped the fighting. There are fears that if the carnage erupts again, they won't be so lucky. I'm in a camp now that's on the fringes of the city, and it's populated by hundreds of thousands of southerners. And they're saying that if this camp is attacked, they'll fight back.
We are not afraid of any war that comes. We are prepared for war. Anything could happen at any time.
Southern leaders are reported to have recently beefed up their army with 300 new tanks. They want Sudan to remain united, perhaps with an eye to winning elections being held here next year. But they acknowledge that many of their people feel neglected by Khartoum and do want independence.
If they think that no development has been done, as you have been seeing in the south, and there are difficulties in the implementation of the CPA in some clauses or in some articles, then they will have the right to vote for secession.
The UN's regional coordinator says the international community has been guilty of ignoring the deteriorating situation in the south because it's been almost totally focused on events in Darfur.
Darfur is important, but I think other parts of Sudan are important, and a renewed conflict could resume. In that conflict, over 2 million people died, perhaps 10 times the number that is estimated in Darfur.
For now, these southern soldiers march in memory of peace. But as tensions here grow, many fear their guns could soon be pointing north again. Mike Thompson, BBC News, Sudan.
Well, coming up later in the programme, we're going